I have watched this movie so many times in my life. These movies that I've been doing since the quarantine happened, Coraline, Road to El Dorado, I've watched them numerous times throughout my life. This movie, I've seen it at least 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it! Beetlejuice! So Beetlejuice is a Tim Burton classic. It came out in 1988, so before I was born. We have Adam and Barbara Maitland. They're a married couple, played by Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis. They live in a small town in the middle of nowhere. Well, when I say nowhere, they live in Winter River, Connecticut, out in the States. And this couple is about to start their vacation at home when all of a sudden, they both die. They come home to discover that they have become ghosts. So now, not only do they have to get used to, the whole being dead thing, but they also gotta deal with a new family moving into their house. They don't want these strangers in their house, so they gotta try their best to scare them off. Beetlejuice comes along, he's like, hey, I can help you out. He's a bit twisted in his methods, yeah. But in any case, now we have our Tim Burton classic. And I really do mean that, dude. This movie is hilarious to the millionth degree. It's a Tim Burton comedy. And when I say comedy, it's not just Beetlejuice, who's played by Michael Keaton. It's not just him. He does steal the movie, but he's not the only funny thing in the movie. All the characters here have their funny moments. I mean, you have Catherine O'Hara, who plays Delia Dietz. She's one of the people who moves into the house, and she's pretty out of her mind as well. She's talking with her husband. She's like, if you don't let me gut out this house and make it my own, I will go insane, and I will take you with me. I honestly can't stress how quotable this movie is. Kids! You know I love them! And the daughter of this family is Lydia Dietz, played by the Winona Ryder. And this is pretty much the movie that put Winona Ryder on the map. She was like 17 when they did this movie. Yeah, before she was in Stranger Things or Heathers or Star Trek or anything else, she was in Beetlejuice. She's this goth girl. She's pretty much like Raven from Teen Titans, but without the superpowers. She's a goth girl, so she sees herself as strange and unusual, which is why she can see the ghosts that are trying to scare everyone out. No one else can see them, but she can. And the way that Adam and Barbara are getting along with Lydia is what makes the ghosts go, oh, well, okay, maybe these new people aren't so bad. But folks, I'll just get right to it. Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice is one of those characters that steals the entire movie. If I had to make a comparison, he's like the genie in Aladdin. He is a supporting character, but he steals a show whenever he's on screen. He's trying to get out. See, he's like trapped in this other world, this other world where all the dead things are. Or if he's not there, he's in the model. The Maitland couple have built the model, like a scale model of the entire town they live in. And somehow Beetlejuice has found a way to make himself miniature and trap himself inside this model. But he wants to get out. He wants to get out and scare some humans. But the only way he can do it is if a living person says his name 3 times. Yeah, golden rule of life. You don't want to do that. In fact, if I could, I would make this video abiding by that rule, but I just can't. But this role is pretty much Michael Keaton's most animated role he's ever done. Since when you think Michael Keaton, you usually see him as, a calm, he can be intense, but he's really calm when he's intense. You think of him as Vulture in Spider-Man Homecoming or as Batman. He's not crazy, he's a pretty collected dude. But when he is Beetlejuice, he is out of his mind with lines like, go ahead, make my millennium. And I wonder where an average guy and everyday Joe like myself can find a little action. And that is why I won't do 2 shows a night anymore. I won't do it. So, who do we got here tonight, kids? Oh, well, I see we have the Maitlands. I think they've had just about enough exercise for tonight. I'm telling you, quotes on top of memorable quotes from this movie. But you don't even see this character really until about 45 minutes into the movie. I mean, you get little hints of him up till then, yeah, sure. But his big introductory scene is like 45 minutes into the movie. But up to that point, you're appreciating the build-up. You're laughing. One of the most classic, iconic scenes in this movie, Beetlejuice isn't even in it, is when this new family is having dinner at this table and the ghosts are like, hey, let's try to scare them off ourselves. So they possess them and make them sing Harry Belafonte. Daylight come and day one go home. I mean, that's as iconic as a movie scene gets. I love that scene too. It's 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot punch! Which does lead me into the music in this film. Danny Elfman's score in this film is straight up classic Burton Elfman collaboration, because the main theme in this movie is awesome. It's that classic ba 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 da 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 da. The opening credits sequence where it's going over the model, the music's playing, you get right into it. And the rest of the music in the movie is great too. And you have your classic Tim Burton art style in this movie. This netherworld that Adam and Barbara go to. Everything's all twisted and crooked and decrepit. The colors are all vibrant, classic Tim Burton. I'm a big Tim Burton fan. I mean, I'm a fan of his good stuff anyway. I know he's hit or miss. He's had some bad movies, he's had some okay movies, but he's also had some great movies, and this is one of them. Now, from this movie did spawn an animated series. The Blu-ray has a couple episodes as bonus features, and in the animated series, Lydia and Beetlejuice are somehow buddies, and they go on zany adventures in the netherworld together. It's entertaining. I mean, it's for kids, which is kind of funny when you think about it, because this is a kids animated series that came from a movie with a line like, nice fucking model! But I don't know, Tim Burton do what Tim Burton do, I guess. But yes, From this movie also came a new Broadway musical, the soundtrack of which I just listened to for the first time last night. And I'll say, the show, it makes some pretty big changes from the movie. Which is funny, now that I think about it, that's 2 Winona Ryder movies from the 80s that have been made into musicals. Alright, different video for another time. But the Beetlejuice musical, it keeps the main characters and story intact, for the most part, but it also does make some pretty big changes. Coming from a diehard fan of the movie, I look at the musical and I'm like, well, I mean, okay, it ain't the movie. It is funny how perspective does that, you know? I mean, I saw the movie Beetlejuice way before the musical came out. Whereas with Heathers, which I am also a huge fan of, I got familiar with the musical before I watched the movie. And I love that musical so much, I look at the movie and I'm like, well, it's not the musical. I don't know, it's just funny how perspective does that. Again, Heathers is another video for another time. This is a video about the movie Beetlejuice. So Beetlejuice is an iconic classic, the characters are hilarious, the dialogue, I mean, you watch this movie, you'll be quoting it for the rest of your life. It's showtime. The music is awesome. Did I say that already? I don't care, I'll say it again because it's true. The music is awesome. It's one of Burton's best and it always will be. So Beetlejuice, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Have you seen the musical? What did you think about it? Or what's your favorite Tim Burton movie? Mine? Nightmare, easy, because it's just one of the best movies ever made. But whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Okay, I believe you. Jump in the line, rock your body in time. Rock your body, child.